I'm a minute late. I was eating gummy bears. That's okay, monkey. You're doing all right. You got the butt over there. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Houston with a Problem. I'm your host, Houston, and I'm full of problems. So, started to do a show yesterday. I played golf with a friend and then worked and then was tired and didn't have the energy to do a show. But here I am, Saturday, doing one. And another lovely Avocados procured shirt. Let's see here. Lots of dockets got dropped yesterday. A couple of retail investors they filed a motion to roll back all the stuff that was done with the stock that Bed Bath & Beyond stock was canceled, and then the company name changed to Butterfly. A lot of people are suspect of this action because it would delay any possible distribution of new equity, and it will slow the entire timeline down. There's also still the fight happening between Hobby Lobby and Michaels over a lease. That's going to take forever. And then some creditors appeared and like, whoa, there was money. And it's like, people that for refilling toilet paper and stuff in the various stores. In bankruptcy, when someone files, right, from that filing date, you have 2 months to sue in bankruptcy for your claim. And they're now 4 months past that date, so tough shit. I think it's what the judge is gonna say. He's like, well, you guys had 6 months to get your act together, and you had until now, so we're just not gonna bother. But there's more hearings that have to happen. I don't know if they're allowed to go through with further plans of emerging from bankruptcy, if there's still these hearings being scheduled. Not a clue. I have the feeling that they may reemerge, leave behind a subsidiary to deal with all this crap, and then be fine. But we'll have to see what comes of it. It may be just a whole bunch of delay chat tactics by shorts. Like what the guys are demanding is that the stocks not only get uncanceled, but they go back to the expert market and force shorts to close. I don't know if that would work, but like they say, they should have to do a recall before they cancel all this equity. And I say just let Ryan Cohen do his thing personally and sit back and twiddle your thumbs, because slowing everything down and delaying everything is not going to be the solution to it. But here we are, right? This. If I make a noise over there, is it delicious? Yeah? Cool. Oh, we're back. Oh, off. Ha. Okay, so here we are. Oh, some super chats I need to get to right away. Money over Mayo. I have a dilemma. My car got stolen yesterday, and my commute to work is 67 minutes by car. What should I do when I get the insurance money? Get a beater and invest in the rest? It'll probably be close to 30,000 Canadian. Thanks. I drive beaters because I like to drive beaters. I guess it depends on where in Canada you are. If you're East Coast Canada, a beater over there is a giant rust bucket because they put salt on the roads and everything. If you're West Coast Canada, beaters, no rust. It's probably fine. I am partial to beaters. So I'm always going to tell you, get the beater and then spend the money on, a fabulous vacation or investments or whatever you want. Drive beaters. They're cheaper. So, listen to the guy who drives shit boxes. Case Chapman, Houston, can you elaborate on what the SEC objection period is that ends today with BBBY? What exactly can they object to? Also, get you some lunch on me, my friend. Thank you. That I'm not quite sure. I think the objection period might be to the filings that they made, canceling their shares and stuff like that. Time to file objection within 45 days. The responsibility of objector to ensure that the reviewing officer receives objection timely matter. Objection period and process. Okay. Time to file objection for a new plan, plan amendment, or plan revision for which an environmental impact statement, well, that's not at all what we're looking for. Environmental impact statement, that has nothing to do with the SEC. Okay, I want SEC. 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 That's Forest Service. Forest Service, California Department of Industrial Regulations. SEC, no subjection to advance. Nope, not that one either. Honestly, Casey, not a clue. But my guess is you file something, they've got so much time to review whatever it is, and if they don't give you a response or object to it, then your filing is what's happening. That'd be my guess, just judging from all these ones from the National Forest Service and Department of Land Management and other objection time periods. Yeah, that's what it seems like. So sorry I can't help more on that because I am at the mercy of what Google will bring up for me. Either prior file objection, just yeah. If your objection is not within that period, then whatever floats on that one. Deb, welcome as a problem solver. Thank you. Stephanie L, can you please explain in layman's terms reverse repo? Okay, so repo, the regular repo, that's used by like hedge funds and people who play with money. They take their collateral and they do short-term loans. They'll talk to a bank or a lender of some kind, like, hey, I've got all this grade A treasuries. I'm going to borrow from you. You're going to hold this as collateral, and I'm going to borrow cash from you for short term, 1 day, 1 week, 1 month, whatever. Pay the interest on it, and then I'm going to make my play, get my profit, give you my money, give you my money, and then you're going to give me my collateral back. That's regular repo. Reverse repo, that's when banks play that game. And in this case, what they're doing is they're giving their cash to the Federal Reserve, and the Federal Reserve is giving them interest on top of that. And so the reverse repo was always a pretty small market, tens of billions of dollars here and there, and suddenly started spiking during COVID to the around 2 trillion that it is today. And what the government is doing in the reverse repo is they're trying to keep cash from entering the economy, because a lot of inflation happens when the cash floods everywhere. So the banks, if they have any cash on hand, they can give it to the government or give it to the Federal Reserve. The Federal Reserve holds on to it overnight and gives them a 5% compounding yearly interest return. So that's pretty good, But now bonds are starting to pay a little more than reverse repo. So it might be like, I'm just going to buy some bonds with it. So yeah, reverse repo is when the banks give money to the reserve and the reserve holds on to it, gives them interest on it. So rather than getting cash from someone, you're giving your cash to someone and making money off of that. What? You've got a thing dangling from your mouth, you ding dong. Are you chewing the blanket too hard? Now you rip part of the blanket. Ew. Gross. Come here. Come on. Get up there. Get up there. Don't chew on the blanket. The blanket is your friend. Darth Monkey. The Emperor. When she just sits there like that. Belgian Whale get to 5 memberships. Oh, fantastic. Look at that. You get a whole bunch of folks jumped in there. Thank you. East Coast. Thanks, Houston. Yeah. It'll be a rust bucket. So if you can find a car from the West Coast, get that. Bitcoin, potentially hundreds of billions to be lost. Expect they'll cheat to avoid paying. See you in court in 10 years. Thoughts? We are battling an active opponent, right? That opponent will try whatever they can to not pay out. But remember, if that opponent for any reason gets liquidated, game over, dude. They do not have the power to delay anything because all their assets are gone. They got nothing. Somebody take their assets from them. Oh, now the cat wants it, of course. Come on, fatty. Get in here. There you go. All right, bad boy. Whoops. Knock the microphone around, making everyone's eardrums explode. So that's, if they can delay, they will. But if liquidation happens, then any power they have to delay is gone. They will not be able to. How long till Musk runs for president and fills Trump's shoes? Musk can't run for president because he was born in South Africa. He's a naturalized citizen, and naturalized citizens cannot run for president. So, whew, on that one. Yeah, every once in a while they want to change the rules so that somebody who's a naturalized citizen can run for president. Like years ago they wanted Arnold Schwarzenegger to do it. Arnold Schwarzenegger's like, I don't want to run for president. I'm from Austria. So there you go. Yep, he cannot. Okay, where was I? Coffee, donuts, and Homer. Anything I can't read. Coffee, donuts, and Homer. Anything new going on today? The SEC passed short selling rules yesterday. Yes, the SEC passed a rule. It's self-reporting. Oh, hey there, cat. Cattail karaoke. The SEC posted a rule that allows self-reporting of short positions, not required reporting of short positions. So that's one thing that was on the list of the Investor Bill of Rights was requiring shorts to report what they're shorting. Now, this is self-reporting, which is along the same lines of what's been happening anyway. But it's a baby step in the right direction, right, little guy? Right? Oh, yes, you're dark as night. Yes, you are. Oh, look at you. You're so pleased with yourself. So we're getting there. And Coffee, Donuts, and Homer, you were first. And Tyler is second. Jason Blackwell, Houston. What does Adam Aaron have to do when he wants to high-five a friend? He claps. Okay. What DC? I don't know if I'll be able to watch live, but I happen to be looking at my phone and a notification popped up, so I popped in and say hello. Hello. Why Tyler, Houston? Do you think it would be possible for GME to pick up Y Butterfly and use Y Butterfly Knowles for GME's profits and still use them as write-offs? Yeah. Anything is possible. We are still in speculation station, so you can speculate to your heart's content, and it's all possible at this point. It's like a magic little imaginary world. Imagination land, right, Kitty? You in Imagination land? Are you going to eat that box? Is that what you're going to do? So I personally have the feeling that Ryan Cohen talks about being Warren Icahn, right? Warren Buffett / Carl Icahn blended together. Now, taking a company that's failing miserably and utilizing its Knowles to make yourself a fortune, very Warren Buffett. Bringing the investors along with you, very Warren Buffett and Carl Icahn. So, I watched The Restless Billionaire the other week, and then the HBO recommended the documentary on Warren Buffett after that, which was kind of fluffy. It didn't really go too deep into his business stuff. But for both of them, very much whatever they do, they bring the investors along with them. So I think if Ryan Cohen is trying to emulate them, he's definitely going to try to bring the investors along and make something big out of that, because you need to be sort of, I want to say a folk hero, but you need to be able to have a following of folks that come behind you and are like, hey, if that guy's involved, I want to be a part of it. And you don't want to screw those folks over at all. And that's why I firmly believe that equity is going to be restored to holders of BBBYQ. And we got to wait, see what happens. What companies are going to blend it into, if they're going to make it an umbrella corporation for RC Ventures. We're going to find out, man. OG Trillape. Much love from the PP fam. Oh, thank you, bud. That's very lovely of you. I quite appreciate it. Bring that love on Charity Tuesday on Halloween. Charity Tuesday. I got Halloween cats. I got an orange and a black cat. And we're going to have excellent Halloween charity time. Right, kitty? Right. Maybe we'll help with kitties. Maybe we'll like the spay and neuter program for fat cats. Huh? What do you think about that? Like you heard that. You've been spayed, dude. You're fine. And you're not a cat. Okay. Oh, the other thing I put in there. A group of investors shorted gold and silver by like $5.5 billion. And now prices are spiking and they're massively underwater. So liquidation may happen on Monday of these firms that shorted it, because with the conflict happening between Israel and Palestine, gold prices are going through the roof, and silver prices are going through the roof. So if a firm that was short on other things gets liquidated on this, we might see a basket pop. And first of all, who is dumb enough to short precious metals ahead of a global calamity? Right? Like when the market drops, gold rockets, and the market is in the process of dropping. It's fall. We know bonds are having the worst year of their entire life. We know that people can't afford to buy homes. The home sales are stagnating. Commercial real estate is in the dumpster. Why on earth would you short gold now? Like, how stupid are you? That's the dumbest thing I could possibly imagine. Some people's children, man, they're just, well, if it causes a meltdown across the market and it helps us, short that gold, you stupid idiots. Okay. Where am I? That's What DC? In PP chat last night, a user was asking if PP Show had covered any of the insider trading cases, which they haven't until recently. I'm pretty sure Houston has, though. Which ones? White Tyler Houston. I think it would be possible for GME. Oh, that's you already asked that one. I read that one already. Never mind. Ignore me. Anyone know which show dates he covers them? Which insider cases? It all blends together, man. You might have to remind me, because nothing's coming to my brain right now. Why? I'm sorry. Alexander K, happy birthday, Houston. Will there be dips as the meme stocks rocket, and how big the dips should we expect? Talk about like for blue chips and stuff. I would expect so, but all depends on that ruling, or that rule that was made by the DTC about, rather than liquidating hedge funds, a lender could take all of their assets as collateral and then lend them that same amount of money, sort of like a repo, and would hold on to that. And rather than dumping all stuff into the market, could hold on to it as value, and the cash would go out. The hedge fund will have no hope of paying that back. Like, I've got $20 billion in assets. I had to give all my assets to this bank. This bank gave me $20 billion. I had to take that $20 billion and immediately buy up a whole bunch of shares and close out my short positions, and I still owe $100 billion. You're not paying back that loan. The bank now owns your assets. Now, if the bank wants to realize anything on those assets, they're gonna have to sell them. So they're not getting their cash back. They're gonna need cash from somewhere. So they may have to sell all that stuff off. It just might be a slower process. Maybe delays it a little bit, keeps the bottom from crunching real hard. But yeah, I expect it to be dips, and that we get some deals when we get cash in our hand in the end. Oh, shoot. And there's a reset. Quit resetting. Let me read before you... There we go. Watt DC Coffee, the insider trading as pertains to BBBY, the Judith Cohen and SI cases. I thought Judith Cohen had dropped her case. I thought she had dropped the case. Whether they settled or they realized that he filed all his documents to sell, and he was made an insider, not through his own actions, but through buybacks from the board, who shrank the float and thus made him go over 10% and suddenly be an insider against his will, which I think is what triggered him being like, plan B. I'll have to look at that more. I thought she had dropped it. All right, Watt. Have a good day. Bex Houston, happy birthday. What's with the guy suing to get BBY trading again? Is he a paid mischief maker or trying to help? Either a paid mischief maker or a doofus who's trying to help. Either way, it's not helping. It's doing the opposite of helping. It's like someone's on fire and you grab the nearest liquid and throw gasoline on them. Like your intention was to help, but you just made things worse. Hopefully the judge just goes and tosses it. But a lot of people are freaking out because when you make a motion like this, you have to include a proposed order. Like, if I were the judge, I write the order like this. And then you send that in, and they're like, oh my God, the order's been granted. Like, no, the order's not been granted. Judge did not sign this. This is a proposed order. They gave to the judge, is like, judge, wink, just sign right there, and everything will be okay. And the judge can sign right there, or the judge can go, no, fuck you. Or the judge can go, oh, that's interesting. I'm going to work on an order, and it might be different from this. So those are the three options. But the judges signed nothing. The judges had no hearing on it whatsoever. I don't know what the outcome would be if that's the case. In the pump and dump case against Ryan Cohen, they filed documents saying like, hey, your shares have been canceled. You no longer have standing in this case. And then the reply from the plaintiffs was, well, we invested in 6th Street, and 6th Street financed the dip and file facilities. Therefore, we have standing, which is an interesting argument, because that would say that you invested in those two things knowing full well that it was going to go bankrupt, which destroys your entire pump and dump scheme action. So, I don't know. I think the judge should just toss the whole case to begin with. Andrew Stewart, Houston, do you see that Sync from Young Turks is going to primary against Biden? Don't know if a web journalist is any better, but at least he's under 70. We need these old farts to kick the bucket. Sync is, he gets some things right, but he's also like incredibly sexist and gets some things really, really wrong. Sync Wager, he's Hasanabi, the super streamer guy's uncle. When a Democrat gets primaried, whoever wins the nomination loses. That's what happens. Personally, I think it'd be better if Biden's like, well, I'm 100 million years old. I made it. I'm going to let somebody else run. That's probably the best thing he could do. But if he's not doing that, primarying the sitting president is an absolutely awful way to have the president enter into the general election. But on the plus side, the guy who's the other side of it's probably going to be in prison by the time the general election comes around. So there's that. It's gonna be one for the ages, that's for sure. 2024 is going to be a weird one. Right? Right, Monkey? Yes. Coffee, Donuts, and Homer. Anyone know if Pirate Porto David Simpson from Twitter is still BBY strong? Not a clue. Don't know who those people are. Belgian Whale. So if it starts trading this week, aren't the option houses going to be blown up on Friday? Probably. We didn't get a filing after close yesterday. So the next chance for a filing would be before open on Monday. If it doesn't happen before open on Monday, I think we won't get any SEC filings for quite some time. I think they're holding things close to their chest, and they're gonna let the options fizzle into nothing. And I don't know. The OCC making all those options go to cash was not an order from the company. The company was like, hey, cancel all those options. Just make them all due on the 20th and have it be over with. They did not put that in anything. So the OCC might be trying to force the hand of Bed Bath & Beyond or Butterfly to do something this week. Like, hey, you don't want those 20 million shares going to nothing, do you? Yeah. It's weird. And I guess we'll see what happens when it happens. Until then, just twiddle the thumbs. Doobie Wah, finger for the win. What did finger close at yesterday? I forgot to look. FNGR. 663. Okay. We need to push over 7. Well over 7 by close Friday. Next Friday. For it to get there. Belgian Web, looking forward to this mail-up show. Yes, I made a typo, and rather than writing makeup show, I wrote mail-up show. So this is your mail-up show happening. Drink it all in, folks. Phil Clayton, Houston, how long do you give SBF in jail? Oh, my goodness. I don't think he lasts very long. Did you see the 60 Minutes interview? Or the 60 Minutes piece with the guy who's writing the book on SBF. And they're like, how long do you think he'd last in prison? And he's like, well, if he had a computer, he could last his entire life. You know, computer, hours. So if he's locked into like fuck me in the ass federal prison, no computer, no access to the internet, not long. Couple days, few weeks, maybe, and they're just going to use and abuse him in a place like that. He's not going to last at all. All sorts of stuff coming out, like they were hiding billions of dollars in people's in like accounts offshore. They were purposely manipulating Bitcoin to keep it under $20,000 by selling off customers' Bitcoins without telling them, and then never recording it in their accounts that way. They were minting just like cajillions of these coins that represent stocks. Those are tokenized stocks. There's a lot of crime going on, and those Dweebelheimers were just like, I'm just so innocent and nerdy. How everyone's gonna get their money back? You know, dude, you're just committing crime after crime after crime. It was a giant criminal enterprise. So as weird and autistic and as you were still actively committing crimes, and you're going to prison. Plus, like, dude, if at one time you're worth $97 billion, and that's who your sex circle was, then why on earth did you bother becoming worth $97 billion? Like, you need better eyes wide shut parties than like the sloth people that you were porking it with. I don't know. My motivations are different, I guess. Derek Horst. If this fizzles, I have my write-off for the next 10 years. See? There you go. So, yep. Phil Clayton, Wise and Rain. Correct. When a mummy cloud loves a daddy cloud, they make mad cloud love daddy cloud. Is startled by, say, a seagull he may pull out, and that's how rain occurs. It's disgusting, but probably pretty accurate. 101 Nas 101. Hey, bro. Any news on BBYQ and Butterfly? We're still twiddling our thumbs? Twiddling, baby. Twiddling all day long. We're going to have, like, paths worn through the air from how much we're twiddling. Belgian Whale 369. Nice. Oh, yeah. 369. 369, that's the number code for somebody lying kind of fetal position next to two people 69ing, I think. Just being awkward, going la 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 la. Ludicrous speed. Shorts want BBYQ to trade again so they can keep shorting it. Having a new ticker will destroy them. The more lawsuits and attempts to delay that confirm it, we're right in this play. I'm leaning towards that side, Ludicrous speed. Fatal Wraith. Turn off all intros. I did. Intros are off. Ruati. Houston. Theories that BBYQ will become Teddy. This fact is amazing. And then become part of G-America with GameStop and others sounds like a 10-20 year plan. Going blockchain also sounds like a dream. Yes. I think as far as all speculation goes, that's probably as close as we can probably get to that. Start off big with a company that has billions in nulls. Then make a retail giant out of it. That's not just retail giant, but also an investment bank. Warren Icahn's big thing was finding undervalued plays, bringing them up to value, right? That's what he does. Warren Buffett's thing was insurance. He figured out a way, you create insurance companies, you got Geico and other insurance companies, and the cash from premiums come in, and there's like a delay between payouts to customers and when that cash and that cash sits in a bank account. If you figure out ways to capitalize investments via that pool, it's waiting. There's a lot of folks that make money off of stuff like that. You know, you have PayPal or Venmo or whatever, right? So let's say you pay for something in Venmo, the cash immediately comes out of your account, gone. You're gonna take it in an instant, gone. It's sent out to wherever. You want to get your cash out of Venmo, it's going to take 1 to 3 business days, unless you pay a fee, and then you can have it instantaneously, right? So the 1 to 3 business days is if they can keep a pool of cash, millions of dollars in limbo for a day or two, they can earn interest off of it. And that's their bread and butter, making interest off of that money that's sitting in there. So just extending it a couple of days, seeing it's going to take a little while for that payment to process, that's how they make money. So the arbitrage of that delay, that's their window to gain interest on that cash, and skim it and put it into an account for later. So that's what Warren Buffett was doing. Had this insurance cash. Someone crashes their car, like our buddy Money Over Mayo, and he's waiting for his check to come. Right, the cash comes. The insurance payout is approved, but he's waiting, and they're going to delay it a few days because they're using that cash to go buy up a bottling plant, and then they get cash from someone else, and boom, then they send it. So it's a system, and that's probably what Ryan Cohen's going to be going for. Deb, thank you for gathering us today. We gather here today to talk butterfly. Belgian Whale, that new intro is perfect for an intro to an awesome BBY hype vid. I love it. We got a special one for Halloween. It's coming. Got a very special one for Halloween. Josh Dobbs, thank you for all this. Dude, you never seem to get annoyed at all at the same question being... Same questions. Been a long time. Sorry, I can't read. Let's try this again, Josh Dobbs. Thanks for all this, dude. You never seem to get annoyed at the same questions. Been a long few years, co-parenting, a few rough breakups, and waiting for all this shit. Your conviction hasn't wavered. Cheers. Thank you. I think... Because I know people come into the show at different times, and they might not necessarily watch from the beginning. They maybe watch it from where it started, where they got in. So yeah, I expect the questions to kind of repeat because people need that. And as someone who's taught for the last, the 13 and a half years, you teach the same class several times in a day, oftentimes. And so you get asked the same questions several times a day. Now, if I taught a class at 10 a.m., and I answered a question, and then at 2 p.m. I teach the same class, and I ask the same question. I'm like, God damn it. I answered this question at 10 a.m. The student wasn't there. So I have to re-ask. And sometimes it gets asked so many times, I just start skipping it and like, go to the beginning. You can go to the beginning on this one. But yeah, I'm just kind of used to answering the same question multiple times anyway. It's my job. But yeah, sitting and waiting. It's been a long time. Mo McWoolhead is here. Fantastic. And I know your friend is here. I'd like the new show intro for that. You guys want a new show? Okay, here we go.
Houston, we have a problem.
Are you not entertained? Would not. Old Civics are best. Old Civics rule. Ludicrous Speed, like you, I thought the Dodgers and Braves were the teams to beat, and they both lost in the first series. I know they got slaughtered. Like, there's been some arguments that creating a bye week for these teams gets them too out of play. Like they come in and they just can't spool up like the teams that have been playing. So the solution might be, eliminate the extra wild card team, have one game playoff, and then go from there back to what it was. I think the solution is bring in 2 more wild cards, and so teams don't have a bye week. Everyone's playing a 3-game series. That way, if you lose a 3-game series to some chud team that like finished barely above 500, well, maybe you weren't the champion you thought you were, and then you can't complain. You have no excuses at that point. So. More teams in the playoffs. I like it. MMTOP updates would be great. I don't have any. There were hearings this week in Congress, but they were closed door hearings with the SEC and FINRA involving MMTLP Nextbridge. But we haven't heard a word as to what's going on there. They did send out a notice to investors. I got the email yesterday, basically saying like, hey, we're doing our drilling, and we're also allowing other companies to drill, and we're taking a bit off the top when they pump oil. So they're going to build infrastructure on these oil fields, I think, pretty darn quick if they're bringing in others to start drilling. And I guess it was worded really weird. It sounded like after a certain number of oil gets pumped or number of years, the well belongs to Nextbridge. So they're going to get, what they can out of it for a short period of time, shave off a little bit off the top for Nextbridge for capital investments. And then eventually Nextbridge ends up owning the well anyway. So not only will they have Nuco drilling, their subsidiary, but they'll have other companies in there drilling as well. Yeah. BT SEC cat ruling about to cause havoc. If that in fact is happening, yeah. Like creating oversight in one area and then taking it away in another is a really terrible plan. It's just, yeah. Christopher Rivas, do you suggest me to transfer to my MMTLP to AST? I did. You can if you want. I just going off the first S1 that they filed was like, hey, if you transfer, you're going to get the shares in Nuco. We can't guarantee you can get those shares if you don't transfer. So I just transferred. It's like, no skin off my back. The shares aren't doing anything. I can do that. That's what I did. All right. Road Carousel. I'm just throwing this out there. Hit the upvote. Oh yeah. Like, subscribe, tell your grandma. Watch all the old shows. Donate heavily on Cherry Tuesday. Pet dogs and let kids play on your lawn. There you go. There's all the nice things you can do. French Toast says puppy. I agree. It's Liddy. A few peeps in here. Welcome back, guys. Yes, welcome, people. Would not. How long before Dianne Feinstein runs for president and fills Biden's shoes? We can get Bernie's. I mean, there's been a few senators over the years that have been like weekend at Bernie's inning. Strom Thurmond for sure. The dude was like 98 and was like, and heck, I mean, at the end they let him admit that he fathered a mixed race child with his maid out of wedlock, and people were like, well, he's 98, what are you gonna do? Yeah, but he was a Klanman and ran on a white supremacist campaign for president in 1936. But you know what? He's doing the help. That's what he's doing. And South Carolina kept him in the Senate for like a gajillion years. Like a third of this country's entire... No, like more. Yeah. More than a third of this country's entire existence was Strom Thurmond in office. That's crazy to think about. Okay. It's Liddy. OG Trill. Indeed, OG Trill. Thank you. Oh, ludicrous speed. Why do filings have to be before or after market hours when the stock isn't trading? I don't know if they have to be, but that's when they get filed or made public by the SEC. I think it's a way to give investors a fair shot. Like, if it happens after the trading day, everyone has like hours and hours and hours before the trading day begins again to do things about it. And if it happens before trading, then everyone gets hit with the same information, you know, right before the market's open. I think it has to do with leveling that playing field. Same reason why earnings always come after close. Like, earnings will be at 4 p.m. Eastern after the close of markets. And then market closes, they release earnings. And stuff happens from there. John Castro, Nextbridge Hydrocarbons Incorporated enters into participation agreement to fund Johnson Prospect drilling program. Thoughts? That was just what we were talking about. They're allowing other companies to jump in and drill and suck oil and give Nextbridge a little bit off the top. So remember, we've had some huge sales of oil fields in Texas for tens of billions of dollars. We're talking $20 to $30 per barrel in these oil fields. And the one thing that oil fields have in common is that they're developed. Is that they're pumping oil, they're selling oil, they're producing a lot of it, and then the big guys come in. The big guys don't really seem interested in drilling. They want someone else to do all the drilling for them, and then they're going to come in and take the bulk of what's left in the reserves. So I think the board at Nextbridge, McCabe and those guys are seeing this happen. They're like, oh, okay. So rather than just doing test wells and capping them, we're going to have to start pumping oil. And I think that there's been what's the word I want to use? A lost opportunity for growth in the company by only doing test wells and not pumping oil. Over the years, they just pumped oil and sold oil over those years. Those 5 wells a year would be like 40 wells, all pumping, making $12 million a year each or more, right? And then you'd have yourself a $100 million company in revenue every year, and you'd have infrastructure being built and paid for, and it wouldn't be taking on loans to do this stuff. So I think they're finally like, okay, we're going to start building infrastructure. We're going to build tanks to store the oil. We're going to have trucks doing shipping. Maybe we'll talk about pipelines and stuff later. But they're going to start selling the oil, and that's going to be the big deal. Belgian whale. RC is the apprentice to those two big guys, next generation. Exactly. And that's one of the things I was thinking about watching those two documentaries was, there's a clear setup for oh my gosh, why can't I think of the word? Someone take the throne, the heir, the scion, the Ican's son, Brett, is going to take over. That's going to happen. There's nothing clear on Warren Buffett's side. It sounds like Warren Buffett he and Charlie Munger are old as shit. Those guys are a cajillion years old. I think Warren Buffett's like 93 now. they know they're going to die, but they have no clear, oh my God, what's the word I'm looking for? Chain of command, no. Order of succession? Order of succession? That may be what it is. There's no order of succession for when Warren Buffett's gone. Like, dude dies, who takes over? There's only 25 people in the company. And the same 25 people have been there the entire time. Does he have someone anointed as like, you shall be chairman? Not that I know of. And so he's going to donate like all of it to charities. He's got his 3 kids have foundations, and then the bulk of it's going to Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. But he made that promise before Bill and Melinda Gates got divorced because she found out he was going to Epstein's Island. But yeah, I really do wonder where that who's taking over. And as the person takes over, are they going to run it the way he does? Or is he just going to be like, well, that's a bunch of cool shit. I'm going to sell all this off and pocket my billions. Because some bro will definitely do that. Ryan Zulkowski. My wife would like to buy land in the mountains post-MOASS. What are good things to look out for? What should we avoid? I mean, it depends on where you are. Like, you could be in the mountains somewhere and it's lovely and beautiful, but the bark beetles, the Japanese bark beetles, are just destroying every tree possible. And so all the beauty you have could absolutely get wiped out by a bunch of bark beetles. And then you become like super fire land because there's dry tinder everywhere. If I were to live in the mountains, personally, it would be at a ski resort. I know, I mean, it's not quite the isolation that you might want, but the skiing's right there. To me, that's quite important. I guess you want a view. You want a source of water. You want year-round water. That's important. You want to be able to figure out how to like have access to that water when it's cold, because the mountains, it gets very cold depending where you are. I mean, if you're in the Rockies, it can be minus 30, minus 40 during the winter, and that sucks. Being able to get to a store is very important. My idea of being in the mountains is not to be like stuck in a cabin for 6 months eating my relatives. I don't want to do that. I want to be able to like hop down to the store, get some food, not have to eat a whole bunch of like salted bear meat in the garage. Yeah. Also, mountains. I want to be somewhere near where I can go gold panning because that's fun. So I would say stuff where cool rock hounding is nearby. But beyond that, you got to figure out what kind of mountains you want to live in. Like, do you want to be like weeny little Appalachian mountains or big gnarly Western U.S. mountains or Canadian Rockies or something that's just like raw? Because, I mean, the Appalachians are just glorified foothills, really. Oh, making sounds, kitty? Doing all right? Yeah? Oh, you little dude. That fat little cat. He's such a nice guy. Okay. Peter Jefferson, do you think that all the court proceedings will wrap up by the end of this month or November? Man, I hope so. Like, there's some people saying that there's going to be hearings in February. Like, oh my God, just no one cares about the $500 bill you're owed for toilet paper rolls. Sorry, tough shit. Moving on. You had 6 months to do something about this. So, have Hobby Lobby take you on as a vendor or whatever, whoever took over that lease. Man, I hope it's over soon. Party City, they filed for bankruptcy in January. They're now emerging. They have a buyer. They won't say who the buyer is, but they're going private. And this is the side, like, if Bed Bath & Beyond had a buyer, we wouldn't count as the equity holders for the Knowles, for the creditors. Because the creditors would get equity and the buyer would be the shareholder and they would get equity and it'd be over. There's no private buyer for Bed Bath & Beyond. So the shareholders in Party City, they're screwed. because the private ownership is going to take over. But we don't have anyone bidding on the company. No one came in to bid on it. Maybe someone did bid on the company, and the creditors are like, no, we don't want that. We want our equity, and we want to preserve the shareholders, and that seems to be what they're doing there. So, lots of chin stroking. Gotta stroke that chin. See how long is it going to take them to do things. How many of these lawsuits are getting filed or motions are getting filed? How many of them are at the behest of short hedge funds who are panicking, right? They want to delay forever, and this might be the only mechanism to have the delay. We need to get 2 idiot shareholders to file a motion to reverse all this crap. Makes as much sense as anything. It's Lydia Houston. What is the significance of Eye of Africa on your show? So I encourage people to send me coordinates, and we look at the coordinates and talk about like how it formed, or it might be something goofy. Usually it's like a schlong, something shaped in the form of genitalia. They love to send me that. But early on, someone sent me to the Eye of Africa, and I explained what a cryptovolcanic structure was, how it's an old volcano, and how it got formed and everything. And then like 3 days later, someone sent me the coordinates. I went there again. I'm like, this is Eye of Africa. This is what happens. And as Josh was mentioning earlier, like I answer the same questions over and over again, it started becoming a thing where they would just send me the Eye of Africa again and again and again and again. And now I just know if I see like 20 degrees west and 11 degrees north, that's going to be the Eye of Africa. Don't click on it. Don't copy and paste it. Just don't do it. They're tricking you. So they sent me that one. They sent me Schlong Island. What's the other one they sent me a lot, Monkey? They used to send me the face in the hillside in, it was like Manitoba or something. I haven't gotten that one in a while. Yeah. Bosming. When do you think MOASS will happen? Choose one day only. Tuesday, October 17th. I might as well make it then. Josh Dobbs, speak on the umbrella speculation. Do you think we could potentially be gifted more shares, almost like a split? Yes. As with all the speculation, that seems not only entirely plausible, but a fantastic way to make the shorts shit themselves. Short shitting. Shit your shorts. Imagine you have the bankrupt company. You bought in at 15 cents, right? It comes going bankrupt by 15 cents. Maybe it'll come restructure, maybe not. And restructures, all of a sudden, they give you shares in, I don't know, Teddy, Overstock, Bye Bye Baby, Lego, a recording studio labeled by, Taylor Swift. Like, you get shares in 5 real deal companies that all get to not pay taxes for a long time because there's so many billions to divvy out on there. You're screwed if you're a short, right? You can't go out and buy these things. They don't exist yet. So what are you going to do? Well, you're going to get recalls on everything. Recalls are going to happen across the board on like every single solitary stock you lent out from all the brokers who had to deal with your crap from naked shorting. And that's that. It would be piece de resistance. So that's why I like it as speculation. Is it going to happen? I don't know. But man, it'd be awesome if it did. Mindshift Mastermind. Hey. Scissor54, bank runs in China over Evergrande fears per Peruvian bull. Oh yeah, bank runs in China have been happening like crazy because no one ever banks at a real bank in China. They all bank in these weird shadow banks that just like blow their money on everything. And Evergrande issued another warning like, hey, we're going to default on our debt. Like, we know, dumbass, you don't have any money. So, yeah. Well, DC, okay, now gone for real. Can't get fired, need this job. Evergrande, bankruptcy, fears spark bank run China, and Guangzhou PBOC authorities say all is financially well, and the Evergrande's outstanding loans won't affect banks' ability to pay. Yeah, right. China has to print more money than any economy ever has, and they're printing like crazy. Get interesting. Houston, hypothetically, if you quit your job because you suddenly have a windfall, where and how would you find a good health insurance policy? Just call up a health insurance company, be like, hey, I need rich people insurance. And they go, right away, sir or madam. That's how you do it. Or you set up a holdings company or a trust and you offshore that bitch. And then your reported income is like $8,000 a year and you go on Medicaid. You do that. I don't know. Quit some fraud. That's what I'm saying. Why not? But if you're rich, you may as well get the rich people insurance or move to Spain or something and be insured by the taxes because you get treated for whatever you want there. Daniel Crossland, what has Trump actually done? Don't really follow American news. So he's under indictment for a few things. He's under indictment in New York for money laundering, fraud, tax evasion, loan fraud. This stems from there's civil action based on some of the loan fraud that he's already been convicted guilty of. He has to pay a $250 million fine. And that involves basically he would tell banks that his properties were larger and fancier than they were. So like his apartment in New York, in Trump Tower, it's 10,000 square feet and worth about 19 million. He told the banks that it's 30,000 square feet and worth about 300 million. So he could get bigger loans. And then he would tell the government when he's paying taxes, it's like 7,000 square feet and worth maybe 3 million. So he could have his taxes lowered. So he's committing frauds on both sides of the spectrum there. He did that on lots of properties. He also laundered money through his lawyer to pay off Stormy Daniels because he had an illicit affair with her. And she'd go to the tabloids and be like, yeah, Trump was fucking me the entire time. While his wife was postpartum nursing the baby. So they paid her off, but it should have been reported as an in-kind contribution to his campaign because he's running for president. And he didn't do that. So it became campaign finance fraud as well as money laundering and a host of other things. So he's being charged there for that stuff. In Florida, he's being charged for basically stealing classified documents. So there's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of documents, some classified, some not, but he was not supposed to be in possession of any of them. And they belong to the people, the federal government, and the people own them. And so the National Archives is like, hey, we're missing a whole bunch of documents. Can you check your folders, make sure we don't have them? And Trump's lawyers were like, we checked, don't have them at all. And the National Archives was like, are you sure? Because some of these are classified and like highly classified in that nobody except the president and his cabinet were ever supposed to see these documents, and they cannot be outside of a SIF, which is the secured storage area. And lawyers again like, no, he doesn't have any of these things. Meantime, there's video footage of them moving these boxes around. And so the FBI raided and found a whole bunch of classified documents that they claimed they didn't have in spots where they most certainly did have them. So Trump is being charged with lying to the FBI, theft of documents, etc. in that case. Then in Georgia, they were trying to illegally override the state's election results and make Trump the winner in Georgia rather than Biden. And there's a boatload of charges there. In that one, there's like 30 co-conspirators who are not being charged, many of whom have likely turned state's evidence against the president, being like, yeah, we committed a crime. He was part of it. So he's kind of screwed there. And then in D.C., there's indictments over his actions for trying to overthrow the government on January 6, 2021. And that basically there's conspiracy that he and his White House staff helped plan the attack on the Capitol. So considering that a whole bunch of people have been convicted, they're like, yeah, I was coordinating with the White House. He's kind of screwed there as well. So those are the four big cases And he could face indictments from other areas, from other states as well. But, it's like 118 indictments in 4 jurisdictions, all felony. So it doesn't look good. The first case, I think, begins in March. I can't remember which one it is. Might be the New York State case that begins in March. But he could very well be sentenced by April in that case. And then the next one, I think, begins in April. And then he has one in May and one that's next fall or next summer. Might not be a day associated with that one yet. But anyways, 3 of those cases should be done by June. And that'll be after all the voting happens for like Super Tuesday and all the big primaries. So we could have a convicted felon behind bars as the main nominee for office. So, yeah. Derek holds 70% of my position as calls Ripperoni. If I could have found some, I would have bought so many calls for January. And to have them turn to possibly nothing would have been like, ooh, that would have been a mistake. So I had calls for June, and those died. A sad, whimpering death. Should have paced them out further from there. Coffee Notes and Homer. What do you call fake spaghetti? Impasta? Iggy Limon. Talking about Senk. Was he born? He was born in Istanbul. So is he naturalized? So he can't run for president either. Chad, hey dude, happy Saturday. Do you still agree GME is the way? Mail up shows sounds disgustingly creepy. Yes. I think GME will rip. If Bed Bath & Beyond rips, GME rips with it. And GME definitely has an infinity pool. People talk about infinity pool with Bed Bath & Beyond. I don't know if there's necessarily infinity pool. To get an infinity pool, you need to have more than the float locked up and not to trade, which means in Bed Bath & Beyond's case, you need like 400 million shares set aside. People are like, I'm not trading. I'm going to sit here. I will sell these ones, but never those ones to keep it going to to infinity. I think that's there for GME. I don't know if it's there for Bed Bath & Beyond. Again, this is free and it's cheap to just do this all day long. Whee! Yippee! Woo! Bitcoin, come if you're rich, you don't need insurance. Salient Sapien, Houston. Are my shares safe in IBKR? I think it depends if you are IBKR here or IBKR elsewhere in the world. If I were in Europe in a brokerage with Bed Bath & Beyond, I would definitely get my shares transferred to DRS. Because we saw what happened with Hargroves and Lansdowne. They just went, your shares are gone. Oh, well. And people are freaking out. And they're like, whoa. I mean, if stuff happens, we'll bring your shares back. Well, then why don't we just have them anyway? Well, because we got rid of them. If you're in Europe, I would DRS. Michael Harrow, Carolyn Ellison, hot or not? I don't know who Carolyn Ellison is, so let's find out. You. Yeah, Carolyn Ellison. Oops, I didn't turn you on. There you go. Okay. Boom. Carolyn, oh, that's that chick. No. That's the sloth people that he was having relations with. Not at all. Nope. No. No. She's a weirdo and not a looker. So, not a looker and a weirdo. And apparently really passive aggressive when they're going through breakups. They're just having a bad time all around. But, everyone has something that floats their boat and makes you go, that's weird. So I guess if you are a giant fraudster creepo, then, she looks fantastic. Chris, do you think we'll get a definitive answer on what happens to BBIQ before the end of the year? I've been in the play for 15 months and I need to move on with my life. It's killing me. I hope so. But, man. If we don't have a filing before open on Monday with the SEC regarding something to do with the stock, I don't know if we see anything for months. At least until the blackout period is done, or until, we might see something if they do follow the New York requirement that they got to list their CEO by Halloween. So we may see something filed then telling us what's going on. But if nothing's filed tomorrow, Monday, when supposedly Mellon Investor Services will no longer be the registered agent, transfer agent, I don't know what happens. And they aren't telling us what happens, then thumb twiddling. That's all we can do. Naps. Yawn. Twiddle thumbs. Pet a cat, fat cat belly, because it's just such a little chunky monkey right there. Yo, you're such a fatty. Yes, lick yourself. Oh, jiggle, jiggle, jiggle. Yeah. You might not be able to move on with your life until we get a filing, and we're just being held at bay, at gunpoint by that filing until then. Coffee Donuts and Homer, bros, welcome to GME. Been in since February 2021. Yep. Chica Shukla, who's Warren Icahn? You guys mean Carl Icahn? It's a portmanteau. It's Warren Buffett and Carl Icahn blended together into Warren Icahn. Or Carl Buffett, as it were. The cheese, please rub your beard viciously. Diabolical. Okay. Mantan. Everyone knows what mantan is? It's that, try to put the sunscreen on yourself, you get that little triangle in the back where your fingers can't quite connect and it gets burned in a little triangle form. That's a mantan. Mantan. How do you feel about finger squeeze or ER that was out? As with every month with finger jumps to $7 monthly and does not maintain through the options close on their monthly options because their options chain is small and they only have monthly. So October 20th is when a whole bunch of options will expire. And if they don't close high on October 20th, might be waiting for next month again. So here we sit, waiting for them to close. So on the earnings report that was out, I mean, their earnings reports are getting better and better. They've got big investment coming in. They're going to be a solid company. They're heavily shorted, but again, they need a giant gamma ramp and then gamma squeeze happen for that stock to really pop. And so we wait, twiddle thumbs like we do for so many things. But if it closes high on Friday, I will buy calls for that Monday for the next month, and I will ride those suckers all day long. Coffee Donuts Homer, what was the Twitter insult in the frame behind you on the shelf? This one right here. This little guy. This is from when I outed Scott Adams, the creator of Dilbert's podcast, to the public. Like, people watch this podcast. People who normally watch this podcast are shitty human beings. And he went on a really racist tirade about how he identifies as black and black people are, monsters and you should never do business with or talk to or be nice to black people. And he was being a terrible, terrible human being. And so I outed his podcast to the world of him being a racist shitbag, which if you didn't know by then, you should have. And then he made the mistake of jumping into my mentions for like a week straight. And I just ripped him a new one constantly. And most people who were jumping into his defense were inauthentic accounts. So he's paying bots to come in and argue on his behalf. And I kept showing again and again that these were bot accounts and like accounts from the Philippines that he was paying to like defend him. So eventually he tweeted this at me. Idiot. And so I printed it out and framed it because, I love it so much. And I, Houston Wade, am the reason you cannot read Dilbert in a newspaper anywhere in the country. My outing him on Twitter resulted him in getting canceled everywhere for his strip. So Scott Adams, what do you think about all the money you're not making? Just know that when you called me an idiot, that I did that to you. So there you have it. Scott Adams calls me an idiot and loses hundreds of millions of dollars in future revenue. Heir apparent. Thank you, Mark. That's the word I was looking for. Man, that week was so fun. That was like the most fun I ever had on the internet. Was Scott Adams just couldn't help himself and kept jumping into my mentions and just getting swatted around. Probably the saddest thing about Elon deleting my Twitter is that I can't scroll back to that time and go, ooh, that was a good one. Oh, that was so lovely. It's somewhere on some back server that's probably going to get deleted or unplugged by accident, and then it'll be lost to the sands of time. But I have the printed, framed idiot. And, fuck you, Scott Adams. Okay. Patty MJ Houston. Thanks for your patience and rational speculations. Wondering if you have any ideas why my brokerage app shows something weird I've not seen before, i.e. having 2,300 shares, it shows 2.3 e to the 2 as my quantity. That's the scientific notation. That's 2,300 shares. Yeah. So, oh no, sorry, that's e to the 2, 2.3 e to the 2 has 230 shares. That's right. That's not 2,300. Should be 2.3 e to the 3 if that's 2,300. Give them a call, ask them why they're showing it weird. But it should be 2.5 e to the 3. That should be 2,300. Because 2.5 e to the 2 is 230. Yeah. Corey Ryder, DMX last ride protests Killuminati. When we ride on our enemies, they never met the apes. Hedgie up in smoke tour. Let's hotbox Vegas Sphere. Those are all words. Sure. G-Font, HW. Without being too conspiratorial, it's pretty hard to believe Hamas could coordinate their attack without the intelligence community knowing. What's your thoughts? Are we getting the full story? Oh, we're definitely getting the full story. The detail of the plans that Hamas apparently had is quite spectacular. They apparently had, maps of the kibbutz, names of people who lived there, where they were, where the eating halls were, where the different homes were. I don't think there was an intelligence failure per se. I think there was a purposeful intelligence negligence. Egyptian intelligence, as part of their peace treaty with Israel, gave Israel info like, hey, these guys are going to attack on this date and do these things. And Israel, the intelligence community received it and never did anything with it. A la, bin Laden determined to strike within the United States. Like, you've been given the info, now do something. And they didn't do anything. But that's been Netanyahu's thing. Like when he gets in trouble, he lets Hamas attack, and then he can go, "Oh my gosh, Hamas attacking! We must all do this and not, sentence me for crimes I committed or kick me out of office." But this may have been the last straw. This may have been way too far. It may have been way worse than he had planned to let happen. But that's my conspiracy side, because Likud and Hamas have had a deal for at least the last 16 years when it came to getting rid of Fatah and the PLO. Yeah, so, but now Israel is just bombing the shit out of Gaza. They're saying, hey, everyone, evac Gaza, go to the south, but they're bombing the south as well. So, I don't know. At any rate, a lot of people are going to die, and there's not much we can do about it except, look on in horror. At any rate, Netanyahu should be out of there. If they would kick Golda Meir out for failures in intelligence, Netanyahu's got to be gone as well. So hopefully that entire coalition he has just splinters and falls apart in infighting, and then someone rational and good can be elected to office to, I don't know, not suck at their job and commit crimes. That'd be my opinion. Glitch, error. Glitch, no error to the. Yes. Petty MJ, it's weird that it only shows up like that in a few of my holdings. Never seen it before the other day. Oh, talking about your 2.3e to the 2. It should be 2.e to the 3. So I would definitely log in online and not just on your phone and see what it says there. Because maybe they have someone who doesn't know how to do scientific notation and programming their web app. Dan Dietman, you know what one of the biggest drivers of successful economies is, right? War. This is true. Fred Jones, you can talk about heir apparent. Thank you, Fred. Yes, that's what I was talking about. Nababa Benin. Nothing comes to my mind apart from bad day IT department. Yes. I think someone IT just doesn't know how to do scientific notation properly. And they think if you see part of the decimals there, then you count the zeros after. But no, it's from the decimal point on is where you do the E to the on that one. Yogi 2012 salted bear meat sounds amazing. Yeah, it probably is. I just don't want to eat it every day. What are you doing? You gonna go to the door? No, we're not doing that right now. They're the boyfriends and girlfriends are doing things downstairs. You need to go play with them. Okay. Mooly McWoolhead. I want to get a bunch of acres someplace that's pretty dry, mostly warm, but with a nice river in it. Probably somewhere in Nevada along the Carson River. Dry, warm, a good chunk of the year. Cold in the winter, but warm the rest of the year. And you got a nice river going through it, so you do that. G-Font. Side note, want to take Rad Dad and I rock hounding north of the border. Maybe you're on Kamloops. Sure. It's going to be a terrible time of the year to do that. So summer. Summer's the best time in Kamloops anyway. Weather's nice. It's 85 degrees Fahrenheit, whatever that is in Celsius. And snow's gone. Why not? Right, monkey? That sound good? Does that sound good, monkey butt? What time we got? 2:50? Is it treat time? Shall we? We're getting close to finishing up this bag finally. We've been working on this thing for months. Months, I say. So, there's a whole bunch of little pieces. Let's get some more little... Oh, that was really beefy breath I just took in right there. That's a pile. We have so many I can give you. Whew. That is beefy and a half. We'll get through this bag and then we'll work on the chicken one. Get up here. Yeah, get it. Come on. Reach it. There you go. I'm going to eat it for you. Oh, no, I'm joking. There you go. Can you catch? Woo! Oh, he's knocked that back into my lap. Try again. Woo! Nice job. Another one? Oh. See if we can get it in the camera. Well, that's the floor. Another one in the air. Whee! And you still can't catch anything. I can't toss anything for spit. Okay. If I throw it at you. Nope. Come here. Come get it. Oh, they're so good, aren't they? Just beef turned into a slurry and then it's pressed together in strips. And they're so delicious. Woo! Yeah, you caught that one. That was the last one. Good job. Wipe the beef off the table there. All right, distraction over. Monkey butt's happy. Fat cat has no idea what just happened. And where are we? Revenge served cold Carl. Houston, what do you think about Carl Icahn? I mean, he's very shrewd and savvy businessman. That's, I don't know, if you can you ask much more out of the man than that? Some folks of him see him as a corporate raider. Others see him as a hero to retail. Kat, you herking over there again? You okay? Oh, I know. That's his asthma. He sounds like he's going to hurl, but really he is coughing. That's like how a cat coughs. They dry heave like that. It's all right, buddy. Come on. It's all right, asthma cat. You're good. Okay. Yogi 2012, wonder if James Angel is one of the shareholders suing. They say he buys one share of every stock just to be a shareholder. Huh. He's got like a mini like Vanguard going. Moan get 12/26/23. So you're saying, is that when you say MOASS is going to happen? Boxing Day? Sure. PG Sunday, happy birthday, Houston. Good seeing you on Saturday. I finally made $100 selling my vegetables. There you go. I didn't know you were in the vegetable selling business, but congratulations. Monhat, I have debt I need to pay off, which was accrued after my initial investment. I do not want to liquidate anything if I can help it because I believe the Teddy G. America thesis. Do you think they will have some money value dividend or something similar? I think if they issue new equity, the stock price is going to fly. And depending on how they issue new equity, whether it's multiple companies, which would be delicious, whether it's putting stuff on the blockchain, like the shares on the blockchain, that would truly make it explode. That'd make it explode in a way we've never seen a stock explode before. You put it on the blockchain, take everyone who's direct registered, plunk, they're on the blockchain, and then you tell the brokers, you say, hey, brokers, we're going to be issuing crypto dividends or crypto shares in this stock to all the shareholders, but only upon closing all short positions. Everything's being recalled. So you got to close every short position in existence, and then we can distribute these crypto shares to you. And they might be like, you've got 5 days to do it, or 10 days or something like that. If they set a clock to that, where every broker has to go to position close only on every single solitary short position in existence for Bed Bath & Beyond, the price could go infinite. Right? Like, you don't have to sell. You're like, well, I got 9 more days. Price isn't to my point yet, and no one else is selling. Volume's still incredibly low, so I'm not selling. Right? Because you don't have to. You might be like, I want my crypto share. I don't want to sell. So at that point, liquidations are happening to hedge funds across the board. The price is going to gajillions of dollars, and you don't have to sell if you don't want to. You can be like, okay, I can sell a couple of my shares and retire forever in comfort. Maybe I'll hold on to some more and see where it goes. I haven't decided on selling, and if not, or maybe 12:59 p.m. on the last day, maybe you're like, I'll sell then. Who knows? You don't have to sell, but if they put into an S1 something definitive like that, then brokers will be forced to close short positions, and they'll have no choice. And whoever's left at the end of that, those are the ones who get the crypto shares, and everything's done. You right, cat? Doing right over there. Yeah, rough one. Rough one having asthma, isn't it? As a cat. Oh, life sucks. Ryan Zurkowski. Have you seen the Trek Planner on YouTube? The dude uses Google Maps to find ancient Native American ruins and then hikes to locations. I have not seen it. I'll check the Trek Planner. Trek Planner. Check it out. Lance A. Weird how they brought out all the charges when he started running for president again. I mean, he never was not running for president. So, I mean, just because someone's running for president and they committed crimes, like they should charge them. Let me rewind. Trump should have been charged for these crimes before he was ever president, for at least the fraud cases, right? Because he was committing those crimes before he was president. Now they look the other way because they're like, whatever. Ugh. But then he came into office and he was a shitbag. So like, well, I guess one way to deal with him is to send his ass to prison. Cool. I'm okay with that. But a lot of the crimes he committed while he was president, and due to the standard operating procedure at the Justice Department is you don't charge a sitting president. That's what Bill Barr said. And when Robert Mueller wrote his report, he was like, this is my report. It's up to the Justice Department. Justice Department's like, we don't charge a sitting president. But now he's no longer a sitting president. So that's when you charge him. According to, the way things are run in the Justice Department. So, yeah, he's going to get charged and he's going to get convicted. He's going to get convicted, I think, in at least 3 of the jurisdictions. I don't know about Florida because there's a Trump-appointed judge down there and she's, I think she might be in the bag with him. But the other 3 jurisdictions. Now, if he were to become president, he could pardon himself from the federal charges, but he would not be able to pardon himself from the state charges. Now, Georgia is run by a Republican. They might pardon him there, but New York is not. And I don't think he'd be able to pardon himself from charges in New York. So he definitely will see, my guess is prison time in New York for this stuff. I mean, they sent the people that he ordered to do these things went to prison. Why wouldn't the guy who did the ordering go to prison, right? Coordinates where the bodies are buried. Also, yes, Coffee Jones Homer. The people do send me coordinates where the bodies are buried. Such as Moon McWoolhead right here. Send me coordinates to a little checkpoint for flying at an airport near Miami in the shape of, oh my God, it's probably a penis, isn't it? Let's find out. Google Earth. Get fat. Oh, don't open that window again, Google Earth. Your job is open. Nope. Your job is open in this window. Doom, 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 boom. All right, we're going to Florida. We're going to a wiener, probably. Okay, there's an airport. There's a schlong. There's Schlong Lake. Schlong Lake is the opposite of Schlong Island. Hey, there's an airport here? West Broward High School. That's the lake. You guys want to go rowing in Schlong Lake? It's pointing to like 2 p.m. on that lake. Holly Lake. That's not the name I would give it. Yes, I got waterfront on the Schlong. And the Tip, you can go play basketball in the Tip. It's a little park. That's where you dribble. I kill me. All right. I love schlongs. There we go. Jack Wolf. Yeah, what's the excitement with Finger settling? Finger is heavily shorted. There's one particular hedge fund that's shorted like 140%. Their earnings report improved quarter over quarter, and they've got a big investment coming in from a company that every time they invest, the stock price squeezes like crazy. So, yeah, that's what they got going for it. Every month, it gets to $7 and change, and then they crash it back down to $3 and change, like monthly. And all we need is for Finger to be above that $7 at close on the 20th. And I think it can really run. Andrew Dow, Houston, what's the best website to find Max Payne options? Usually I just search Max Payne. So, like Max Payne, GME. So MaximumPain.com is one. Let's see here. Oops, that's still Google Earth. So here is showing strike prices, and there's Max Payne. So it's the Max Payne graph. This is the most likely spot for that stock to close if, of course, it's not, the label's not giving me anything. It's just showing me a blank box. So that's not very good. But there's your chart. There's your strikes and your calls, and then your puts on the left, calls on the right. There's a bunch of people that hope things go to $1 kajillion, and they have got big lotto tickets out here. And but the price where they got the least amount of puts and calls is right in the middle, and that's your Max Payne. But the other websites, the Maximum Payne, these are not showing up that little bubble. Let's see if I want to pop up for another one. Swaggy Stocks, Max Payne calculator. There you go. There's your calls and puts and how many of them there are. And there's your Max Payne graph. There you go. So Max Payne is at $17. That's a pretty good sign that the price will go up. So if you've got calls for next week below $17, you might be doing all right. Interesting. Yeah. So there's lots of them. Just Google it. That's what I do. Lizard Brains 2024. Seriously, people, be stronger than your lizard brain. Oh my gosh. Just be stronger than your lizard brain. Michael David Houston, are you invested in Mullen by any chance? I think it's going to be a banger. I am not. I do not think it's going to be a banger. I mean, they've done 2 reverse splits in the last year already. The stock gets hammered deck down below $1. They did deliver a couple of trucks. They got a contract to take trucks and electrify them, so like commercial trucks. Cool. I do not see them producing a commercial car anytime soon. There's still too much of a shortage of computer chips, and they're last in line to get those things. They also don't quite have a factory set up to start producing those cars. If they do produce them, they're going to do it by hand, and they're going to be freakishly expensive. And, I mean, there could be a savior that comes along and makes sure that everything gets done, but I just don't see it. There's been a lot of manipulation. Like, we got reports last April, like, hey, Saudi Arabia is doing a $10 billion deal with Mullen. And that was all just fake hooey that got the stock price to go up. So somebody was probably doing a pump and dump on that. But I think there's better car companies out there and bigger ones that are going to last longer and actually produce cars. Sincere 206, good morning, Houston. In Bali for vacation. What have I missed? Nothing so far. This is what we're up to. So, and Bali is a great place to do this. Just hang out. I got a couple of friends live in Bali. Ask around. Ask if everybody knows Houston. Eventually you'll find one of them. Go to the beach. Turn off your brain. Chill out. Enjoy it. Oh, and there's a reset again. Dang it. Okay. Christy Admonson, do you have a number for AST that I can phone from South Africa? Would appreciate a lot. I gotta move these puzzles out of the way. Is that my AST thing? I don't know if it has an international phone number on here. I don't see any phone numbers on here. Nope. Nope, no phone number. The one document I have from AST, I do not have a phone number, although they say go to astfinancial.com. So I guess go to astfinancial.com and hopefully there's an international phone number for you to call. But my document has nothing. I just have one sheet from them, and then I went and registered my name on their website, and now I can access things on the website. But I don't have a phone number for them, no. Just this. Sorry, I'm not much help there, Christy. Senate East. They moved from New York to Delaware with new name. They did. But also the Delaware documents say it is not a foreign registration, but like an outside registration or something. So they may still have to have registration in New York and follow some rules. Glitch. I do not see a point for them to prolong this, as they can make so much money before Christmas. Exactly. You want this to be done before Christmas so you can sell shit. You want that sweet, sweet money, right? And Christmas season is retail manna from heaven. So, Glitch. Oh, I just read that one. KYP Candy, you were correct. Houston, 100%. That was 26 minutes ago. Was I talking about? What was I talking about then? But sure, I'll go for it. Fabrizio's plopping. Anxiety lower. Mount Rainier or Mount Shasta, who's going to blow first? I don't think either of them blow until we have a subduction zone earthquake. I think they're all... and of those, St. Helens or Three Sisters in Oregon would blow before those two. Three Sisters has been inflating for years. Mount St. Helens is a freak and just pops all the time. But those big ones, I think we need a subduction zone earthquake. We need a whole bunch of new material deep down the mantle to make melt. And that's when the suckers are going to go. And we haven't had a big subduction zone quake in a long time. Meow Meow. Big shout out to your stalker. He posted a 3-hour recording regarding you, and he already had 15 views when I saw it. Yeah, he's very obsessed with me. He had laid off for a long time. Since like December or January, he'd like cooled off. But all of a sudden, he's back, baby. And he's getting kicked out of various subreddits. As a result, they're like, you're weird. And I look you up, you're even weirder. And your wife works for a law firm that works for a whole bunch of short hedge funds. Interesting. So, yeah. So, way to go, Stalker Man, who's probably watching this right now because he wants my child so bad. Okay. If only he could get pregnant, right? Then he could just go to the sperm bank and film with as much Houston as he wants. Belgian Whale, let's not do a MOASS after party in Vegas since we are all degenerate gamblers and all. Certainly there would be an ape who would go home broke. 14 billion on red. I downloaded a poker app. I played with friends every once in a while. And the last week I've been like learning how to truly play poker. Poker's not that hard. You just the key, it appears to be, is when you have shit hands to fold. Ta-da! That's how you do it. And then when you have a hand you think that people can't beat, you bet. And then you win. It's pretty amazing. Pretty amazing how that works. And yeah, it's pretty darn easy. I don't understand what all the hooey's about. I don't know. It's all odds, man. You get a 2 and a 4, fold. Fuck it, you're not going anywhere. 1 a million times, 3 other 4s might show up in the thing. Oh well. But usually, if you have 2 and a 4, you're going to lose. So fold. Be my bluff. I'm gonna go all in with my 2 and a 4, and hope everyone backs up, and I can get their antes. Yeah, it's not the most exciting thing in the world, but I guess it's a skill to have. The whole reason I downloaded it was because I watched that documentary on Carl Icahn, and he made his seed money for his company basically by gambling when he was in the army. So I was like, all right, I'm gonna get this skill. But yeah, it seems pretty straightforward. You got shit hand, don't bet. You got a good hand, that's when you bet. Do that. Okay. A passing cloud. Regarding Infinity Pool and BPQ, I know two people have over 0.5% of the float each. I think there are more retail holders with at least this amount. There are people we've had pop up in the chat who, according to them, have more than 4 million shares each. 4.8 million, I think, was one of them. That is 1% of all the issued shares that person owns. If the stock price gets to 200 and $20, he's a billionaire. I think the stock can easily get to that range. So he can become a billionaire if the stock gets into 4 or 5 digits. And if that's the case, if he's happy being a billionaire, multi-billionaire, selling off tens or hundreds of thousands of shares at that point, and he still has millions that can sit, then maybe he's a good Samaritan. Will just sit there and be like, you know what? I'm not going to sell those ones, so everyone else can become cajillionaires with me. Bravo to you, because not everyone has the ability to spend $1 million buying shares. So you're probably already doing pretty well in your life if you can afford that many to begin with. So hopefully there's some altruism in there. We'll find out. Bacan. I love that Charles Schwab is packing about the current placeholder QSIP. They dropped the price from 0 to 19 cents. Seems like they're preparing for the new QSIP. Call still giving no answer on the plan. Yep. Theme, shout out, please. Oh, I don't know what you want. Theme. Ha ha. Bacan, sitting on 30,000 butterfly, and the broker keep congratulating me on my regards. There you go. Yeah. Julie's Miami too late. Belgian whale, the rooms are already reserved. Theme, please, can I get a shout out, mate? By the way, nice background. They're books. That's your background. Also, if you're in the Northwest, you need a chimney. Next level chimneys are the ones for you. And if you want to travel somewhere, Dietas Destinations. Numbers there, also inside the description. And for $50, you can have your advertisement up here as well. For as long as it takes till the next person pays $50 to have their advertisement up. I always forget to talk about that. But yeah, $50. Send me something that can print out in black and white on a laser printer. And you get to have that sweet, sweet board right there. Your own little magnetic posted dealie. So there you go. And theme, shout out. There you go. KYP Candy, Netanyahu wanted his war. Intel said they knew Hamas was planning something and did nothing. Poor Israeli people. Now they're slaughtering Palestinian people. Hamas should be taken out, not the Palestinian people. Yeah, I mean, Hamas is the criminal there. Half of the residents of Gaza are children. 50%. 50% of all the people in Gaza are children. It's hard to govern that many children, especially if you don't have electricity, food, water, things like that. Hamas was given money. They're given tons of aid money. And they didn't use the aid money to improve the lives of people there. They use the aid money to, kill people. And there's going to be a response when that happens. And yeah. Again, I don't know what the solution is, but Hamas definitely isn't the solution, and Netanyahu isn't the solution. So, here we are. Here we are, just going, well, I guess that's that. Not much we can do about it. We do have some viewers from Israel. They're probably asleep right now, but they're like, what the fuck? And they're blaming Netanyahu for it as well, but they always didn't like Netanyahu to begin with, so there's bias there. Dad jokes, rad jokes. I love Carson City area too. It's lovely there. Very beautiful. Fabricio, I was in Vern last week. Willie McWoolhead, the Sphere in Vegas looks super cool for a concert. Indeed. When the Sphere is getting built, I saw it being built last fall when I was there for my friend's bachelorette party. I was like, what the hell is that thing? I'm like, oh, it's a new basketball arena. And it turns out it's a concert venue. So I was like, oh boy, someone's going to be playing basketball in Vegas inside that thing? No, they're just playing concerts. But, watch the Sphere. Moan Get, just for clarification, to let you know my end, delay in stream by over 25 minutes. That's okay, because I'm usually like an hour behind. I'm only half an hour behind the chats today, so that's not so bad. Seagill. What is Michael Jackson's pronouns? Hee hee. All right, that's funny. RP 1973, please do one episode on dividend investing after MOASS BBQ. Thanks. I mean, that's definitely stuff I'll be dumping money into. The first thing I'll probably do, my first investment when I sell stuff and have piles of cash, my first investment will be puts in all the meme stocks. Because the meme stocks will be flying gajillions of dollars, right? And they got to come back down to reality again, because that's what happens after squeeze. It goes, woohoo, doink, right? So it goes, woohoo, I sell, buy puts, whatever the highest puts I possibly can in there, and it passes those things, and I just like 100x'd my already ridiculous amount of money. And after that, then I'll jump in and scoop up index funds and blue chips and dividend stocks and nom, 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 nom. But investment number one, after I sell during MOASS, will be puts in all the MOASS stocks. Anyone I can find that has an options chain going. I'll put it with some force. Josh Dobbs, damn, Max Payne is one of the best gaming franchises ever. It's a pretty good game franchise. I like noir. Josh Dobbs, any good book recommendations? I do. I tried making a Goodreads list, and then apparently those aren't public. I can't figure out how to get people to see them as public. I've not been reading my books like I should the last couple of weeks. I still have to read The Alchemist. I have The Alchemist here. It's like number 3 on my list. I'm almost there. The viewer sent me that one and is constantly asking me if I read it yet. I have not. It's right there. It's waiting for me to get through it. I mean, what do you like to read? Sci-fi? I'm not a fantasy reader. I don't read much fantasy. Action, nonfiction, like, what you want, yo? Tell me, and I'll give a recommendation. Just got to narrow it down, because I can't just throw a book out there, because it might be something completely boring you would never want to read in a million years, because you don't like biographies or something. But send my way, and I'll see what we can do. Monica Woolhead, the boys are going to have to pull Trump's diaper to the side in prison. Diaper Don. Martin Coyle, hi, did you notice what's going on with Smile Direct Club? Aren't they in bankruptcy or something? Smile Direct Club. Is there a lawsuit? Smile Direct. Let's go look at news. News. Not reviews, not discount code, not stock. I want news. Oops. That's what I want. Yes, Google News. Thank you very much. Taking a while to get there. Smile Direct Club. Chapter 11 bankruptcy. This is 11 days ago. Could face liquidation. Uncovering the truth behind Smile Direct Club. Here's why you should retain Smile Direct Club stock. That's on the 14th, which was before it went bankrupt. Smile Direct Club, new depths after filing for Chapter 11. Smile Direct Club owes $900 million. Who's owed after bankruptcy filing? Looks like I'm about to go deeper into this. I think one of the things the Smile Direct Club had was there was a bunch of lawsuits they got because they didn't have like orthodontists designing the braces, and people were like losing teeth, and so they were suing. And if I remember correctly, but I don't know how they owe so much money. They just 3D print some piece of plastic, right? And then they ship them to people. I'll have to read on that more. But yes, I will read more on that. Airport is to the east. Oh, from the Google Earth, from Schlonger. I don't see an airport. I see a schlong. I mean, Google Earth. There's our schlong. Oh, and there's a road. There's West Broward High School. There's some more lakes, not shaped like schlongs, but weird geometric patterns at that. Just gator country. I want to have waterfront in a Gatorville there. There's a big square lake. Look at this lake. Look at this stupid thing. Look at that Harbor Lake. There's no harbor there. Why do you call it Harbor Lake? It's spelled the British way when there's no harbor. There's no boats. There's no docks. It's just gators. That's what you have there. Shoot time. More weird lakes. More weird lakes. Going east. Going east. Going east. There's an airport right there. North Perry Airport. Bam. Due east. Several blocks. North Perry Airport. But no schlongs here. Broward College on their baseball fields. That's almost a schlong. That's more like a gourd, though, at the exercise park. I wonder how many lakes are shaped like genitalia in South Florida. How many gator lakes are shaped like wieners and such? There's got to be another one there somewhere. Okay. Josh Dobbs, what's the backstory with dude Stalker? Without getting too far into it, he's a serial stalker. Spends his time trying to ruin people's lives. His goal seems to be not like he's going to kill me, but he wants to convince somebody else to kill me. He wants to convince somebody else to kill his other stalking victims. So he was in the Air Force, and he was getting kind of forced to retire from the Air Force. One of those things like, hey, either retire or we're going to court-martial you. And he's like, oh, I'm going to retire. What happened was he had a bulletproof car. It was a Mitsubishi Eclipse that he had gotten made bulletproof. Bulletproof glass, bulletproof doors, you name it. And he went through a border checkpoint, and they're like, hey, roll down your window, ID. And he's like, no, and refused to roll down his window. So he got detained. So he sued the federal government for unlawful detainment and then lost. And then he appealed, and he lost the appeal. And then he lost his mind on that and started stalking the federal judges involved and the Border Patrol officers who pulled him over. And started stalking them on his Air Force computers, and he lost his security clearance and was basically followed by MPs everywhere until they kicked him out of the Air Force. So he retired rather than face court-martial, and he had read an article about a man here on Bainbridge who got the Japanese internment memorial built as president of the Japanese American Society. And so there's a national monument here on Bainbridge commemorating the internment of the Japanese during World War II, because Bainbridge was the first place in the country where the Japanese were taken from their homes via Order 9066. And he wrote this letter. He was like, hey, man, good job. And, or an email, whatever. And the guy who got this thing done was like, thank you. And in Crazy Stalker Man's land, he was like, oh my God, this is my best friend in the entire world. So when he retired from the Air Force, he bought the home behind this man and moved here from across the country, all the way from Texas. And then tried to become like best buddies in the entire world with this man. And this man was like, you're fucking weird. I don't want anything to do with you. And that began stalking the poor guy. So the stalker started stalking this dude, and he started making websites and videos about him. And he started paying money to Facebook. So he made a page with the name of this guy, and then started paying Facebook like thousands and thousands of dollars to advertise his mean videos about this man to all over the country. So there were strangers from all over the world that were now threatening the life of this poor guy. So the dude got a restraining order. And being someone who was managing one of the community Facebook groups at the time, I saw these weird posts and I was like, well, that guy's gone. So I deleted him from the group and banned him. Well, that began me getting stalked for the last 7 years. The guy's made movies about me, advertisements about me, YouTube videos. He used to post under every single solitary comment I ever made. I blocked him. He would still name search me and then reply to anybody who responded on any social media page about me. He's got Facebook groups about me, subreddits about me, YouTube pages dedicated to me. He's fucking nuts. And we're not the only ones he stalked. He stalked those federal judges. He stalked the judge who made the restraining order permanent. He started paying Facebook tens of thousands of dollars to get over 1 million views on a video where it was like, this judge ruled that veteran has to be kicked off his property. It wasn't that the veteran kicked off his property. It was that the veteran bought a condo behind the condo of the man he was stalking. So he was not allowed to use a pathway that was too close to the other man's condo. He wasn't kicked off his property. He was being told you can't walk on that pathway. You have to go the long way around. Anyway, this poor judge all of a sudden is getting death threats of like sexual assault. People were stalking her, phoning her. It was bad. He sues Washington State using the claim that cyber stalking is his constitutional right and you can't keep people from cyber stalking. He got sort of a victory there. It was weird. I don't think the Attorney General did a very good job defending that one. He recently got kicked off of the Facebook page of a woman who's a sergeant in the Air Force, and he sued the Air Force to force her to unblock him to allow him to continue to harass her. And without going to trial, the Air Force settled and were like, unblock him. So now she has to deal with his bullshit all the time. What else? He was like a co-pilot on a C-130, and then he got relegated to teaching flying, and then they booted him down from teaching flying to flying a drone, to then being the co-pilot on a drone, and then eventually flying a desk and being removed from the Air Force. And his claim when he lost his security clearance was because he refused to assassinate an American. He was asked to assassinate an American with his drone. He's like, absolutely not. That's an American citizen, and I'm not going to do it. That's what he claimed. And the Air Force is like, no, he was using our computers to stalk federal judges. But anyway, another drone pilot had been on like 60 Minutes and been part of a group that was like completely traumatized from having to push these buttons and watch people get vaporized. Right? It's fucked up. You're thousands of miles away. You're like in a warehouse in Las Vegas, blowing people up in Afghanistan halfway around the world with the push of a button, and you get fucked up in the head. So my stalker, thinking this guy was like his buddy, we think alike, and they met. And the other guy, his name was Brandon Bryant, and that guy was like, this dude's fucking weird. I want nothing to do with you. So the stalker's decision at that point was, I'm gonna make a documentary about how Brandon Bryant is a liar, and then I'm gonna take it on a film tour to all these militia groups and white supremacist groups. So he went around the country showing this documentary to a whole bunch of Nazis, and those Nazis started stalking and threatening poor Brandon Bryant. And he was already PTSD like crazy, going through it, lost his wife and kid and all that stuff. And then what my stalker did was he took YouTube video of Brandon Bryant, selectively edited it so that it looked like Brandon was threatening to kill people, and he sent that video to the police saying, hey, this guy's threatening to kill a bunch of people, do something about it. So the police in Missoula, Montana arrested Brandon Bryant and charged him with felony terroristic threat and arrested him, and he went to jail. It took him months for his family to come up with the money to bail him out. So he spent a long time in jail, gets the trial, and at trial his lawyer's like, Your Honor, this was edited video by Mr. Bryant's stalker. This is the real video. So they showed like the full hour video. He did not threaten to kill anybody in that video. But the video that the stalker managed to make made it appear as though he was. And the jury's like, yeah, acquitted. This guy didn't do anything. And as far as I know, the stalker is still wanted for questioning in Montana regarding falsifying evidence and getting that poor guy arrested. But anyway, he spends a lot of time stalking and threatening me, and or not threatening me, but trying to get people to threaten me and stalk me. He's not been very successful. And anyone who spends any time with him whatsoever, more than a few minutes, is like, well, this guy's a fucking lunatic. And then want anything to do with him. It doesn't take long. And then he'll start stalking them. So if you do come across him on the internet, just avoid him. Like, it's been a nightmare. It's been 7 years of a nightmare of this dude stalking me. And, yeah. So it's just avoid him. Just don't deal with them. If you start seeing posts, just block them and just be done with it. Report them for stalking and harassment. It's the best you can do. But until, like, I was really hoping COVID would take care of him because he's a big fat fatty. But no, I wasn't so lucky. So I guess he's albatross. I have to wear around my neck forever. Okay. Person with no name. Carl Icon is a G. Yes. Kebo. Is there a date we must transfer Nextbridge to get AST to get dividend? The date is 60 days after the S1 is approved. The S1 has not been approved, so you got plenty of time. So don't worry. A passing cloud. Max Payne helped pioneer bullet time, where everything moves super slow. The BBQ play is making sense now. Bullet time. A passing cloud. Houston. Have you read the Bobaverse series? It's about a John Hodgman type character getting uploaded to the Von Neumann probe, like Soma, but comedy instead of horror. I have never heard of that, but I am a John Hodgman fan. He's written some really hilarious books. What was it, like, Oh, the Things I Know or something was one of them? It was really good. John Hodgman writes some good stuff. The Bobaverse. I'm going to check that one out. It said Houston, you almost caught up. I did. I might be able to get to the bottom here, and then I'll probably be done for the day. Gravis, what's the backstory of having to block Marantz? Marantz apparently sent me some Twitter messages like, hey man, can I be on your show? And I didn't see them. And then all of a sudden he was like, fuck that guy. And then he started being really mean to me. So I was like, who's this dude? Block. And then I saw his messages asking to be on the show. So that's why I blocked Marantz. He's unstable. Glizzy Hiroshima. Houston, I heard your name way before I found you on YouTube. I'm pretty sure I heard bad things about you. I used to wonder why you were famous, but it was just Stalker. Really good at marketing. Yeah. Mimic Woolhead, the Penis Lake, Holly Lake was correct. It's just checkpoint when coming into North Perry Airport. So they're coming in the airport, look for the schlong. I get it now. I get it. You look for the schlong, and then that knows that you're in the right track for coming into land at the airport. Where I lost the airport here. Boulevard, Memorial. Come on. There's that. I scrolled over. Pembroke Lakes Mall. Lowe's Home Improvement. There's North Perry Airport. Yep. So the schlong, as long as you're next to the schlong, you are in line to land. That's what. So there's the airport. It's going east-west, and you got a couple lanes north-south, but I don't know which one. That looks like runway there. And you get stuff all over the place here. So if you're coming in from the west, you're going to look for the schlong and go next to the schlong, and then fly over all these other gator ponds here, and then shapap in North Perry Airport. Good. Look for the penis. Head east. Word. Julio, hope you don't live near Perry Airport. I'm here for a couple weeks flying, staying in Pembroke Pines. It's okay, just another couple weeks. All right. Teo Oscar says goodbye to Seattle. Yeah, I mean, he didn't really. The sub 800 on base percentage is not what we're looking for on the Mariners. We need everyone 800 or above if we're going to do anything with this pitching staff. So, bye-bye to Oscar Hernandez. You did okay. All right. That's 2 hours. I'll see you guys on Monday. I was going to avoid a daytime show because Wes Christian is going to be on PP show, but he canceled, so maybe it'll be a Monday daytime show. Hopefully documents get dropped before open on Monday. If not, well, we will be speculating and twiddling our thumbs yet again. Sigh. All right. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. You folks have a great day, and peace. There's one last pineapple left in the bag. The best is the pineapple.